Hi, my name is James. What is your name?
My name's Tom Shreve. I'm Senior Locomotive Engineer here at Roaring Camp.
Tell us about your job.
Okay, being Senior Locomotive Engineer means that I am responsible for keeping the machinery up, make sure that everything on the locomotive is operating properly.
How long have you worked here?
I've been working for Roaring Camp for the past 45 years.
All right. When were the train engines built?
Well, most of the locomotives were built before 1920. This engine here behind us was built in 1911. She is a Shay-type locomotive built for logging or mining operations.
And where were they before Roaring Camp?
This particular locomotive worked for the West Side Lumber Company out of Tuolumne City, California. We have another locomotive from the West Side also, our number 2 engine, which is a Heisler type, which is a slightly different type of locomotive than this one, but for the same sort of use.
When was Roaring Camp opening to tourists?
Roaring Camp opened in spring of 1963, and we've been operating ever since. At first, we only went from here at Roaring Camp to the Felton Station, but after '66, we went from here up to the top of the mountain and back.
What was Roaring Camp before that?
Roaring Camp actually was built as a tourist attraction, basically. We're here to show folks what a logging railroad would have looked like in the 1880s and 90s. But if we had been here, if a logging railroad had been here before this, there wouldn't be all these magnificent trees on the property. A logging railroad would have taken all the trees. Roaring Camp was put in by a fellow by the name of Norman Clark, specifically to show folks what the old time was like. Roaring Camp, this property here, at one time was a cattle ranch. It was also a tourist camp for folks to see to come and visit the redwoods.
Where do the trains go from here?
The narrow gauge train goes from here to the top of Bear Mountain, which is 550 feet above us right now. It goes on a 3-mile track, 3-mile one-way track, and then comes back down.
And how does a steam engine work?
The steam engine works by boiling water to make steam pressure. The pressure from the steam boiler pushes the pistons of the locomotive up and down, which creates the motion for the crankshaft on this particular locomotive to turn round and round, which in turn makes the wheels move.
And what is it used for fuel?
This particular locomotive burns what's called PS75 light fuel oil. Here in California, we don't have any coal, so most of the locomotives after 1900 in California were oil-burning locomotives. All the engines here at Roaring Camp burn fuel oil.
What is the difference between a steam engine and a diesel engine?
Steam engine is a different animal than a diesel locomotive. A steam engine takes a fuel type, it burns it to create heat, to boil the water to make the steam. The steam then is used, as I said before, to push the pistons back and forth. A diesel engine is an entirely different thing. It's very much like an automobile engine, wherein an explosion in the piston creates the push down and push up. On a diesel engine, that push up and down turns a generator, which in turn makes electricity, which powers electric motors on the wheels.
And does it change how you operate them?
In a way, steam engine is a very much has to be watched all the time. When a steam locomotive is under fire, like this engine behind us is, we have to have a crewman in the cab at all times. With a diesel locomotive, it's very much like your car. You can leave your car running with nobody around for a while, and it won't bother the car. With a steam engine, you have to have somebody there all the time, keeping an eye on it.
And how much does the trains cost?
How much does a train cost? To ride the train?
Yeah.
$29.
Thank you for the interview.
You're very welcome. I hope you have all your questions answered.